Arrests, demands, and more questions than answers. Protests continue today after an ICE agent shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good on Wednesday. A massive group met at Powderhorn Park, marching through the streets back to the memorial that stands where Good was killed. And this wasn't the only protest. Hundreds of events and protests have been held across the U.S. since the shooting of Renee Good. We've mapped out some of the Ice Out events that took place around the Twin Cities today so you can see how widespread the protests were. We're bringing you team coverage from across the Twin Cities tonight as the aftermath of the shooting continues to unfold. We're going to start with Frankie McLister at Powderhorn Park. Frankie, you've been talking with those protesters. You've walked by them all day long. What have they been saying?
Yeah, Derek, it's actually really crazy to sit or should I say stand right here, and it's just super quiet after there was a massive crowd earlier. We'll get to some sound of what somebody said in a moment, but basically it started right here where we're standing in the northwest corner of Powderhorn Park. The march with just massive crowds moved all the way north of me on Lake Street, headed west on Lake Street, then curved south on Portland where they passed the area where Renee Good passed away on Wednesday. Now, several we spoke to traveled simply from near and far, knowing that lots of demonstrations were happening nationwide throughout the day, but figured that the proximity to where Renee died and this demonstration was the most important. Now, peaceful is an adjective I'd say lots of community members use to describe the movement. One woman told us that she came on behalf of her immigrant parents.
Right now they haven't left their house since August because they're afraid.
So you're saying you personally know family members that haven't been wanting to leave their house since, you say, August?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that like?
They're just afraid to leave, get groceries, go to their kids' sports and events. You know, it's sad. They want to support their children and the things that they want to do.
Now, a lot of folks were wondering how Lake Street got closed. I posted a video to my social media that shows actually zero law enforcement around the march. That's a question that a lot of people have. Were there law enforcement? A lot of folks were in holographic vests. They were the organizers, kind of trying to just do that, organize and lead the protests and kind of block the roads as the march continued. Now, a lot of people are wondering how many people were here. We don't have an accurate number, but Minneapolis Police Department, despite not being actively right here on site, say that it has to be tens of thousands, but they actually don't have an accurate count at this time. Derek?
Yeah, and they do have experience, Frankie, in estimating those numbers, so it's probably pretty reliable. Thank you. It's been a heavy week, and protesters say they're heartbroken and angry. Uba Ali spent the day marching with protesters.
The emotions out here earlier today was hard to miss. Tens of thousands of marchers going down East Lake Street, making their way to 34th and Portland. They say this march was personal. They didn't know Renee, but have seen how she died and wanted to be a part of change. Tears mixed with chants. People stood shoulder to shoulder. Children held up signs, all in the name of Renee Good. They want to see change in the community. They know they can see change in the community. This Minnesota is a state that has seen tragedy. They say they want to continue to push towards change, and they won't stop until it happens.
We've been seeing a lot of terrible things happen on the news for years now. And there's been a lot of tension building up to this point. Today we felt it was really important to be out here because we're angry and sometimes it feels so isolating to be alone in the anger. And we wanted to be out here with other people who are angry with what's going on.
Now, demonstrators say they'll continue to come out here and march peacefully for change. They hope the federal government saw the aerial footage from up above, the footage from on the ground. This is a state, they say, that will not back down, and they will see change. Reporting in Minneapolis, Uba Ali, WCCO News.
From the protests to the memorial for Renee Good. That's where we find our Connor White tonight. Connor, what's it like there right now?
Derek, the energy has flipped somewhat from Powderhorn Park here to the memorial just off 34th and Portland here in South Minneapolis. It was a smaller group about an hour ago at 5 o'clock that had splintered off. Now, a lot of those people, as the protest informally comes to an end, have come back to where the memorial is. This crowd growing and chanting and adding to that memorial for Renee Good. This is approximately where her car crashed just after ICE agent Jonathan Ross shot and killed her. Many of these people would have been marching throughout the day, getting out here in the cold at around 1 o'clock. Frank, you mentioned some of those people in the reflective vests. This was an organized effort to make sure no one got hurt. We spoke to one of the people who was doing traffic control.
There's a sense of danger for sure. There are people who are upset. You have to learn how to de-escalate things. And clearly South Minneapolis is upset right now.
We're now seeing that sense of community that we've seen throughout the week as people continue to come and pay their respects. We're seeing people with coffee, tea, food, cookies, other items, Derek, to help give people around here who seem to be staying out for at least a little while longer.
Yeah, and it looks like the snow falling there, and that hasn't made anyone leave the scene at this point.
Not just yet, no. A lot of people here, of course, are Minnesotans. They know how to deal with a night like this.
All right. Thank you, Connor. From Minneapolis to the periphery of the Twin Cities, organizers say hundreds of protesters gathered in the small community of Prior Lake to march and call for justice for Renee Good with one clear message for ICE.
We do not need you. You are not keeping us safe. We are not safe. Our neighbors are not safe. We don't need this kind of fear and division in our community.
Organizers say there is a different rally there every Saturday. Groups across the country say they are demanding accountability of ICE.
What happened today is a blatant attempt to obstruct members of Congress from doing their oversight duties.
Minnesota Congresswomen kept out of ICE's local headquarters. Representatives Ilhan Omar, Angie Craig, and Kelly Morrison went to the Whipple building. They wanted to check out conditions for those detained, but they didn't find out much. They say they were let in at first, briefly walking through the monitoring area before being told by two officials that they had to leave.
The response was that because the funding for this center came from the One Big Beautiful Bill, not a congressional appropriations bill, that they were denying our access. This administration continues to use Minnesota as a political stunt. And earlier this week, it got a woman killed.
They also say ICE official told them that they don't keep hygiene products because of the length of detainment at the Whipple building. They weren't allowed to speak with anyone currently detained. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said that they turned away the Congresswoman for the safety of detainees and staff, and that their visit was not proper because they needed to notify ICE 7 days before visiting. A call today to keep ICE out of daycares. Child care providers, legislators, and parents came together to speak out against ICE raids they say are targeting child care centers. Child care providers accused ICE agents of racially profiling centers that serve children of color. They say ICE is inflicting terror, and they want children to return to being kids.
I watched in anger and horror as ICE agents tackled our youth to the ground and tear gassed them at school. None of us want to have to do this. I want ICE to leave us alone so that the kiddo who looked up at her mom at pickup the other day and said, "Why do you have a whistle?" can go back to being a kid, and her mom can go back to thinking about what's for dinner instead of what they will do if they see ICE along the way.
Minneapolis Public Schools will be back open on Monday after canceling school for Thursday and Friday following the shooting. They are also offering online classes for students and families who choose that route through February 12th. A large crowd gathered outside the Richfield Target today, 2 days after ICE agents reportedly took 2 employees into custody. Our Jason Rantala is live at that Target with their demands for the company to keep employees there safe. Jason.
Derek, last Thursday, cell phone video captured ICE agents holding 2 Target employees to the ground before forcing them into the back of an SUV. Community advocates are now demanding change as well as an end to what they call ICE's racial profiling of their neighbors.
A large crowd gathered outside the Richfield Target Saturday.
Today we are here as the Richfield community and surrounding community to say enough is enough.
Outraged over ICE arrests that happened here just days before. Video shows several ICE agents on top of 2 Target employees inside the store's entrance.
I'm literally a U.S. citizen. I'm literally a U.S. citizen.
The agents then forced those 2 employees into the back of an SUV.
Federal agents assaulted and abducted 2 workers going about their shift, ignoring the one of them who was proclaiming that he is a U.S. citizen and had his passport in his pocket.
It's madness to see workers just doing their job and to be arrested in our community. It's jarring.
State Representative Mike Howard, who represents Richfield, said on Friday he spoke to both men, confirming they were indeed citizens who were later released.
The events of this week are showing just the devastating impacts.
The organization behind Saturday's gathering, Isaiah, is now demanding every Target store only let ICE onto private property with a signed judicial warrant, and for Target to train employees of their right.
We would like them to post signs about people's Fourth Amendment rights. We would like them to train their employees to respond when ICE is here.
Advocates are also calling on Congress to intervene to put a halt to ICE arrests they say are targeting people simply based on the color of their skin.
And I reached out to Target today about the incident here with the ICE arrests, as well as what their protocols are for employees when ICE arrives at the store. I did not hear back. We've actually reached out to Target several times about this incident, but not have heard anything back. I also reached out to ICE today for comment, but again, have not heard back. Derek.
All right, Jason Rantala, thank you. Police say about 30 people were arrested last night during a protest outside the Canopy Hotel in Minneapolis. Chief Brian O'Hara says it started at 7. Groups formed because they believe ICE agents are staying at the hotel and gathered to make noise outside the building. Things got a little dicey, though. The police chief says some protesters broke off from the group and vandalized the back of the hotel building. Besides this, the protest was peaceful. O'Hara says that by 1 a.m., the crowd had dispersed.
What you saw last night was a disciplined and restrained response. I think it was highly professional, and I'm thankful for the members of the community who understand our need to keep things peaceful.
Meanwhile, words of encouragement from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, who says he has been inspired by the protesters.
I have seen community members sort of step into the breach, recognizing that there are others out there, agitators that are trying to rile up large crowds. And not only have they not taken the bait, they have pushed others back from the brink to say, hey, you know what? This is what Donald Trump wants.
Immigrant leaders are calling for justice for Renee Good. Civil rights groups gathered to demand a timeline for when ICE agent Jonathan Ross, the officer who reportedly shot Good, will be charged with murder. They also say our local leaders just aren't doing enough.
The federal government is not stopping. They have already decided to add more troops to Minneapolis, knowing that they are not here for ICE enforcement or any legal enforcement of immigration. They are bringing their troops to continue to attack the Constitution of the United States, to continue to attack residents of this great state of Minnesota. It is time for politicians to stop pantering and saying words to feel that the words are going to get us there. It is clear policies that have to be enacted.
Leaders called for the ICE agent involved to be arrested immediately.